It's a sweltering July 31st. I'm Rob.
I'm Will.
And you're watching Political Lunch.
Welcome to the lunch. Today, your last lunch before we head out for summer vacation. But don't worry, we'll have plenty to keep you entertained in our absence. But more on that at the end of the show.
Indeed. Now today, of course, we have your Friday 10 in 3, starting with number 10. Healthcare reform, just to, get it out of the way. The headline today, deadlines be damned. There's no bill, no agreement, no signs of compromise, which means the president's deadline to sign a reform bill by the congressional summer break is pretty much out the window.
But number 9, the good news, though, is that... actually, on this issue this week, there wasn't much good news, especially for the president, who saw his poll numbers drop on the one policy initiative that was to be the hallmark of his first year in office, after Iraq, Afghanistan, the economy, just a few of the other minor things that were on his plate.
Number 8, so just how far away is a potential healthcare reform package? Well, a few members of the Senate were at pains yesterday to lower expectations. Iowa Republican Chuck Grassley said, "You folks keep looking for news, and there ain't no news."
But number 7, one interesting fact noted by NBC today, the so-called Gang of Six, senators from 6 states working to find a bipartisan health care reform agreement, they represent 6 states with a combined population that's less than 3% of the total U.S. population.
Now, number 6, over on the House side, the health care question has become an intra-party battle between liberal Democrats, who will stop at nothing short of universal coverage, and more moderate so-called blue dog Democrats, who are concerned we simply can't afford the cost of that plan. As the debate drags on, both sides are appearing less willing to compromise, which in politics often means nothing gets done at all.
Number 5, but now you can breathe a sigh of relief. We're on to other political news, starting with some good old Jersey corruption. The mayors of Secaucus and Hoboken have now resigned after they were among the 40-plus people arrested earlier this month in a far-reaching federal corruption probe. Now, you can bet public officials nationwide are thinking twice these days before accepting that Fruit Loops box full of cash.
Tasty though it is. Now, number 4, Sarah Palin's first post-resignation appearance is scheduled for next week at the Reagan Library in California, hosted by the Simi Valley Republican Women. And guess who's not invited? Well, us, and of course, everybody else in the media.
But wait! According to the ex-governor's spokeswoman, Palin isn't actually attending the event at all, and this sounds oddly familiar.
Now, number 3, today the Washington Post reports that Pentagon officials are preparing a new plan for U.S. operations in Afghanistan, one that's likely to include a significant increase in the number of troops deployed there. By this fall, troop levels in Afghanistan will reach 68,000, and while some Democrats, including the president, have already voiced skepticism over whether more troops will actually accomplish anything, commanders on the ground seem to have made up their minds.
Number 2, also today, the New York Times leads with a memo from a U.S. colonel in Iraq who states bluntly that it's time for U.S. troops to leave that country, saying, quote, "Guests like fish begin to smell." He notes that since the signing of the Iraqi security agreement earlier this year, the U.S. is officially a guest in Iraq, a guest he claims has now overstayed its welcome.
And finally today, number 1 will send you out on an upbeat note. Here at the lunch, we try to walk that fine line between neutral, unbiased coverage and, calling bullshit when needed.
And Lou Dobbs, my friend, the phone is ringing, and hey, look at that. It's your audience calling bullshit.
After making his mark on the cable news airwaves with a relentless pursuit against illegal immigrants, Dobbs has now moved on in recent weeks to join the ranks of the so-called birthers, who continue to question whether or not the president was in fact born in Hawaii. It's a theory manufactured by those who just can't bring themselves to accept that Barack Obama is in fact the president, and one debunked time and time again. Even Bill O'Reilly has gotten over birther issues and called out Dobbs for sticking with it.
But still, Dobbs kept at it, fanning the flames in an attempt, we can only imagine, to boost his sagging viewership. And guess what? It didn't work. Since the beginning of January, Dobbs' ratings have fallen 15% overall and 27% in that oh-so-valuable 25 to 54-year-old demographic.
And that's what we call just desserts.
All right, that's it for us. For the next 2 weeks, we'll be on summer vacation. But don't worry, we'll be bringing you 3 classic political lunch episodes from the vaults each week. We'll take a look back at our presidential campaign coverage, our campaign trail travels, And we'll even bring you some of those oh-so-embarrassing early episodes from the first few weeks of Political Lunch all the way back in 2007.
Please be gentle when you watch those.
That's it. We're out of here. Thanks, as always, for watching. Have a great couple of weeks, and we'll see you back here 2 weeks from Monday.